Ambassador Krell sneered at the humans. The decision had been made already, though they would not know it for a few cycles yet. They were a puny species, one with no ambition. They sat on the lowest rung of the council, a single planet to their name. Even the Drellians, lichen farmers, had had 3. Pathetic. The humans rarely spoke. When they did, it was of trains. The scorer didn't have such a term. They translated it as primitive mass transit systems. Their fleets rode the singularity tunnels between systems, on carriers the size of islands. What threat could be posed by a species that still laid track? Such lack of ambition had to be rewarded. The scorer had to expand. The solution was simple. When the war drums sounded, Krell volunteered to lead the cleansing. The Grand Scorier war fleet fell through the human orbital warp gate. Sensor readouts blared out their reports. It seemed the humans had been foolish enough to report their military capabilities to the Council accurately, paltry as they were. 0 carriers, 6 frigates, a smattering of orbital platforms, no life signs. "Atmosphere readings," Krell barked. "Earth's empty," hissed his tactical officer. "No sapient biosignatures. They disappeared as we entered the system." Krell's claws flexed. A trick. Had to be. His holo display lit with the fleet's battle count. 74 carriers, 1,776 frigates, 88 million fighter drones. Against this? Burn there. The orbital gate exploded. A single shot from a railgun battery on Luna punched through it. Insane, Krell thought. Gates were sacred. More than that, they were expensive. It cost the Scorier nearly a year of industrial output to build one. It was unthinkable to destroy your own. The humans had reported possessing 74 gates in the Earth system, most terrestrial. An obvious lie, the Scorier had concluded. But perhaps, no matter. Krell's laugh rattled around the bridge. No reinforcements for them either. Proceed. Fragment 1, Supply Chain Engineer Journal, Battle Hour 1, asterisk handwritten smudged graphite asterisk. Evacuation of Earth populace completed in 20 minutes. Room for improvement, 5 minutes. Redirecting all train flows. Total override. The operation should be profitable. They think it's a war, huh? The salvage will be great. P.S. Get on Cersei Sector's ass. Their signaling system issues are reducing drone throughput by 12%. If this was a serious fight, that could matter. Fragment 2. Scorier Tactical AI Output. Battle Hour 3. Data bursts translated. Enemy population 0 confirmed. Enemy industry 2. Terrestrial facilities. Enemy assets, error. Recommendations, update axioms. Query. Define industry when construction occurs in transit. Define ship when drones outmass carriers by 3 orders of magnitude. Define war when opponent prioritizes scrap collection over survival. Earth boiled into a cloud of steel. Human gates were on the surface, under mountains, near rivers, on rocks that circled eclectic orbits around the sun. The Council mandated reports of carriers, of frigates. Fighter drones were useless without them. By definition, they could not travel the interplanetary distances required for any other war. The Scorier Tactical AI revised its count every second. 10,000, 100,000, a million, a trillion. They boiled up from trains, traveling on long loops between gates, not even slowing down to release their cargo into the atmosphere, then into the Scorier fleet, disappearing back into the void to restock. Impossible, the tactical officer hissed. One planet's industry can't possibly support this. Krell watched a carrier die. Drones throwing themselves at point defense cannons until they ran dry of bullets, throwing themselves at shields until they ran out of charge, throwing themselves at armor, plasma cutters carefully dissecting a living ship. Scorier troops systematically vented to the void. They're recycling, he realized. Drones crippled by point defense joined vast plates of Scorier battle armor, caught by tug drones and hauled back to Luna, loaded into train cars that had just disgorged a fresh wave of drones. Destroy the tracks, Krell ordered. Drones repaired those faster than they could. Fragment 3, a void child's nursery rhyme, recovered from unsalvageable wreckage of Carrier X7. Sing-song cadence, human-accented galactic common. Tick-tick-tick goes the track layer between the stars where the cold gets sharper. Spin a thread, catch a sun. War's not fun till the scrapping's done, whispered Addendum. Mama says the dark's not empty. Just forgot to bring a light. Papa says we'll stitch it pretty, rail by rail by rail by rail. Krell's flagship, like the rest of his fleet, died slowly, bled dry by a storm of kinetics, magazines run dry by a seemingly endless supply of drones, alerts blaring hull breach with no regard for battle tactics, the ship simply being disassembled from the rear forwards. They broadcast surrender codes on all available frequencies. No response. The humans weren't cruel, they were thorough. Krell understood in the end, long after it mattered, this wasn't a war at all. This was a salvage operation. Fragment 4, Human Engineers Post-Combat Report. Subject, Scorer Fleet SK-77 Salvage Efficiency. Total mass recovered, 98.2%, excluding biologicals. Notable gains, 74 singularity cores, repurposed as void locomotive engines. 1,776 frigate hulls, melted into rail ties, see Andromeda Spur Phase 2. 88 million drone batteries, powering daycare simulators, see Codex #8832AC. Recommendation: next invasion fleet should use more tungsten. Current stockpile suboptimal for transgalactic bridge joints. Direct energy to matter fabrication inefficient. 3 cycles later, a Galactic Union scout stumbled on a structure in the dark between stars. Not a planet, not a star. A lattice of graphene and iron spinning slowly in the abyss. Sensors identified it as a rail hub, its tracks stretching into the voids between galaxies. The captain, a Scorer, ordered an immediate retreat. Too late. A wave of drones emerged, happy for the fresh construction material. Not fighters, blunt, faceless things, builders. The scout was dismantled systematically, engines first. The last transmission showed a human boarding the bridge, wearing a faded Earth flag. "Relax," her voice cracking through mangled Scorer comms. "We're just laying track." The council convened an emergency session. Ambassador Lu Wei of the human delegation took her place at the lowest tier, adjusted her scarf. The chamber's acoustics carried her sigh to every podium. "You misunderstood. We don't want your council seats." She pulled up a holographic map. One planet. 1,000 threads extending into the cosmic void between galaxies. 456 self-sustained ring habitats. 325 O'Neill cylinders. 3 Dyson spheres built around rogue stars. "We don't care for your territory. You counted planets, we counted the spaces in between. You know how much fits in that silence?" She smiled, fingers tapping a tablet. "Hint, it's a power of 10 game. You lose." A child's voice chirped from the rail map, bearing the crushing weight of banality. Now departing. The 1324 service from Andromeda Central Station to the Virgio Stellar Forge. Expected arrival time 1402. Lee smiled. "You keep the warm worlds. You rule the galaxy. We'll take the quiet places, the void between."